What's up, guys? It's Jimbo here today again, and we have another video from the Cycle Frontier. Today we're going to be talking a little more about a different side of the game than we talked about in our last video, and that's going to be the cheating aspect of that. You may have seen this come up a lot here recently, especially if you visit the subreddit, and the reason for that is going to be that a new hack has popped up out of nowhere, where a invisible player with a pickaxe will kill you usually as soon as you spawn, especially if you have really good gear. Now, if you're a newer player and you're still on the first map like I am in this video here, and you're not wearing blue or better gear, chances are this isn't going to happen to you. Even though accounts are free, the hackers still aren't going to waste their time on low-level players in a low-level map with low-level gear, because if they do get reported and banned, it's extra obstacles that they have to go through to get back into the game. They at least want to make their bounty a worthy target. No offense. They at least want to get some gear out of it, I should say. But more than this, that hack in particular, today we want to just talk about hacks in general and why do they exist in these games, and what's the mentality behind the people who are doing these things, reasons that they do them, and things like that. I personally, I've never cheated in a multiplayer game before. Sure, when I played Grand Theft Auto, I would put in a cheat code for, infinite ammo and all of the guns and whatever the case may be, because that adds enjoyment to the game for me, and it doesn't affect anybody else in the process. Back in the day when we used to have a Game Shark, I'm that old. If you don't know what a Game Shark is, I'm too old for you. It was this device you would plug into the back of a PlayStation or older consoles, and you'd have to put in a string of like 16 digits, and it would do whatever those digits told it to do. Again, I would do that in single player games like like Resident Evil, for example. I remember back when I was a youngling, there was a code that you could put in where it would combine any two weapons together that you told it to do. So I'd combine like the Gatling gun, the minigun, and I'd combine it with like knives. So it would just shoot out knives at a rapid speed, and that was fun and enjoyable. Obviously, it was terrible and it didn't work very well, but I had fun doing it. When it comes to playing in a competitive aspect, when it comes to playing against other people or even with other people, if it may ruin their game experience, I would never want to cheat. I would never want to cheat in a game like that, and I don't really understand the mentality. I know why they do it, but I don't understand why. I don't understand what they get from it. But what are some of the reasons that people like to cheat in video games? The most common one is going to be, in my opinion, probably the people who are just not very good at the game and they want to get better, or they want to be better. They don't want to get better. They don't want to put in that time to practice and hone their skills. So instead, they're going to cheat. They're going to use wall hacks and name bots and so on and so forth to compensate for what it is that they're lacking. Aside from that, I would say the next biggest, and maybe even bigger than that, is going to be the RMTers. This definitely depends on the game. It depends on how busy the RMT population of players is in the game. And in a game like Escape from Tarkov, where RMTing is just insanely high, the majority of cheaters are probably going to be cheating for that reason. And RMT, for those that don't know, is real money transactions. So people in Escape from Tarkov, they would cheat to gain an advantage, and using this advantage, they'll be able to do so many things. They get loot vacuuming, or just ensuring that they don't die while they're trying to loot these high profile areas of the map to then turn around and sell those items for real money. Now, there's a lot of ways that these things can be combated, and Escape from Tarkov and Battlestate Games, they've done a great job at that over time. Obviously, anytime it happens to you, it doesn't feel good, and the knee-jerk reaction is going to be, um, screw them, screw their game, screw the cheaters. I'm not playing this game anymore, and I don't want to do this. And sometimes people resort to hacking themselves because that happened, because they got hacked on. Right? So now that, well, if they're gonna do it, if everybody's doing it, I'm gonna do it. And one thing that kind of ran wild with that actually was back in the Diablo days with map hack, where something that it didn't really it didn't affect other people's gameplay per se. Um, it was like, well, if everybody else is map hacking, then I'm gonna map hack too, right? Until those band waves start coming in anyway. Um, so a lot of people justify their cheating for many different purposes, and I think that what they need to do here in the cycle is they need to hit it hard, and they need to hit it fast. The cycle has one really big downside to it, in terms of the cheating aspect, and that's that the game is free to play. You can choose to buy the packs that give you the things when you purchase the game, but they're not mandatory in any way, shape, or form, and a hacker would not benefit from those things at all. So they're obviously just going to create free accounts back to back to back to back, and you can go to the comment section of any Reddit post or any YouTube video or anything about cheating, and they're gonna have the people on there yelling, well, why don't you IP ban them, or why don't you hardware ban them? And I think that what a lot of people need to understand is that's not a thing. And I mean, it is a thing that exists, but there's 6 million ways around it, right? There's just it doesn't do anything. Sure, if they have the ability to easily IP ban or hardware ban, they should do it. They shouldn't not do it just because it's easy to work around, because it will remove a small percentage of cheaters from the game. And something is better than nothing. But they really do need to find a way to deal with the large group of cheaters. And since the game is so new, something that I think they really need to hit it head on and get it taken care of right away, or at least put up, I like to say, look big. They need to look big, at least, and appear that they're attempting to deal with it, even if they may not have a solution in place right now. Ignoring the problem definitely isn't going to be the way to go. To touch on the removing percentages of cheaters from the game by doing these different things, I think that's a very important part of cheating, and how to deal with cheating and how to deal with cheaters in general, that a lot of people miss in conversation. So, on the flip side of the coin, where we were just talking about how everybody wants you to hardware ban or IP ban when it doesn't do anything, there's the flip side of that coin where people want you to, or people say don't do those things because it doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't matter because they can just create a new account, right? And that's the other end. That's the other extreme end of the spectrum. When it comes to that, what we really need is people to be in the middle and understand that both sides have their advantages and disadvantages. The one thing that combats cheaters, obviously, other than some flawless anti-cheat that doesn't exist, is going to be making it more complicated for them to cheat. Because the average cheater, the average Joe Schmo cheater, that's sitting at home, just got home from work. They have to, they got to go to bed in 2 hours. They got to be back up at 5:30 in the morning. They just want to get a couple of games in. Those people they have a really low threshold for what they're willing to deal with, uh, in terms of cheating, right? Um, if they have to download something new every time they sign on to the game, or they have to create a new Steam account every time they sign on to the game, if they have to, if they got to go through extra steps, those are the people that are most likely to stop cheating very early. The RMTers and the botters and stuff like that, those people are going to, it doesn't matter, that whole system is automated and they're going to keep on cheating no matter what. But if you can take out these different sects or these different demographics of cheaters, if you can at least wipe out a couple of them, it's progress. It's something. And it at least shows that they're working towards doing these things. So adding extra steps in the way of these things, of these cheats, is a way to definitely deal with some of the cheaters. You see this in Escape from Tarkov, where you could only sell X amount of things, or you couldn't sell certain things on the flea market, or you couldn't. They changed the ability to put some items into your pockets, your safe pockets, so that way it made it less advantageous for them to cheat. Anyways, this clip's getting ready to wrap up. I just wanted to touch on the cheater thing for a minute. If you die to a pickaxe to an invisible guy, he's a cheater. Report him. There's not much you can do about it right now. Don't take expensive stuff in. This clip wraps up in a funny way here, so you guys enjoy this, and I'll catch you on the flip side.